Hello, people. I'm Satyam, founder of Brainoscript and host for this particular episode of BOS Talk. And in this episode, we are going to talk about something different. We are going to talk about handwriting. We are going to talk about signature. We are going to talk about how to decode our handwriting. And we are going to talk about how our thought process can change our handwriting. All right, so we have a guest, Ray. She's a psychologist, a counselor, a graphologist. She's going to tell us how our handwriting can affect our thought process and vice versa. I would like to welcome Anagha Chaudhary to this episode. Thank you, Anagha, for joining me for this episode. And if you want to seriously know more about this science, please be with me for this episode.
Thank you so much, Anagha, for joining me for this session of Boss Talk. And thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good, Satyam. Thank you for having me over. It's a pleasure talking to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Anagha, once again. And I just want to ask you, I just want to
Yeah.
know more about graphology. It's a science which I want to know more about. Okay, that's why I'm very excited for this session. Okay, so just tell
Yeah.
me what exactly is graphology and works.
Yeah. So graphology, it's a very interesting subject indeed for people, irrespective of their professions and their fields. To talk about particularly about graphology, so it's a blend of two words known as grapho and logy. So grapho it means to write, to draw, and logy is the
Right.
study of it. So
Okay.
basically, it is the study of your handwriting. So when we say graphology as a word, so we could say it in a way that it is a blend of science and art. So why science? Because it measures the structure and movement of the written forms, the slants, angles, the spacings, and it's the measurement wherein you have to do where you have to be extremely accurate about the measurements and your observations and the pressure which goes along with the writing, and you have to do it with such precision in order
Okay.
to combine the traits together. So that is why it is called as science, because you're measuring and you're observing, and then you are making your getting your readings out of it. It is called an art. Why an art? Because the graphologist who is analyzing the handwriting, he has to always keep in mind that it is the total context of the writing which is taking place. So
Right.
when he has been given the sample, he has to take in consideration the entire scenario in which the writing has been written. So you could say it in a way, the gestalt of the writing as a whole. So that
Okay.
is the art wherein you have made your observations, you have written down your conclusions, but to deliver it in a way which would be least offending to the person, using the right words. You could also say sugarcoating it at points where there are a lot of negative traits in the handwriting, and delivering it in a way where the person won't be offended and he would take it as a positive feedback. So that is the reason I would say it is a blend of science as well as an art.
Got
So
it.
that is what graphology is.
Graphology. Okay. So it's like not exactly science, proper science. We can call it a
Yeah,
pseudoscience, right?
yeah, it is being
Being
called as pseudoscience.
yeah, a pseudoscience and not very famous thing to do as a person, right? So it's a
Yeah,
unconventional kind of career. So how you get
yeah.
interested into graphology, how journey started? Can you just brief me about that?
Yeah, sure. The thing is that graphology, where you say that it's not that popular in India, people are not really aware of it. I would say that it's been widely processed in Europe. It is widely used in European countries, wherein they treat graphology as a very important tool into recruitment,
Oh,
irrespective of the company. So it is widely practiced in India, in European countries. In India, it is slowly starting to find its feet, and
right.
people are slowly becoming aware of of it. So I would say for my journey is that, as you know, Satyam, that I have done my graduation in psychology and then I did my MBA HR. So I was always into a client facing role where I have to deal with people. And since psychology was always my point of interest, so I always wanted to explore more about it. And then I happened to come across graphology, and I took the certification course, and it really got to my attention, and it had everything what I was looking for. When in Because since I was into HR, my only thing was that how would I be able to treat people better, and how would I be of more help to them, since I was into human resources. And
Right.
when I was into recruitment and when I started to interview the candidates, I tried to apply this in the process of interviewing them, and I tried to started to construct my questions according to their personality when they used to fill up the forms, and I had the writing beforehand with me. And then I found the results of it, and that really amazed me. So I thought that why not use this, so that the betterment of the person, and also not only just for recruitment, but I thought, started using it for training and development as well. So wherein I could get a person where he is lacking, really lacking, and what all things could be done for to make him as a better employee. So this is what really caught my attention, and since the outputs were really amazing, I started
Mhm.
doing it on a personal level as well. So when I started getting clients and doing it for the behavioral counseling as well as for personality assessment.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing actually. All right. So like
Yeah.
I don't know anything about graphology. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
in layman language, you have to
Uh-huh.
just let me know how a signature or
Yeah.
handwriting, by
Mm-hmm.
analyzing that, how can you get someone's personality, know about someone's character traits and all those things.
Okay. So let's say you have been given a topic to write. Okay,
Right.
you're in an interview and you have been given a topic.
Mhm.
So as soon as you have been given a topic, you think about that particular subject for like 10-15 minutes, and then you start writing. So I would say that whatever the thought process, whatever topic is being given to you, it starts in your brain. The thought process starts in your brain, right? And then
Mhm.
the all the brain cells, they combine together. We won't go into much of the scientific things because
Right.
that might not be this thing. But your brain starts to work. Your brain starts the working. And what is the brain? It's a nervous structure, right? Of great hierarchy that regulates certain body movements. So when you think about a particular topic, your thoughts started to generate in your brain, and then they give a command to your hand, and then you start writing. Now let's
Got it.
say that topic is really near to your heart. Let's say that you're in an exam, you're a 8th 9th standard kid, and you have been getting an essay ka question, and
Right.
the topic is something which you have really prepared for. You know how to write about it. You'll be very happy, and you would start writing the moment you get the topic. So if you're happy about it, all the happy chemicals are released from your brain towards your writing.
Right.
Similarly, if you're really stressed about something is really difficult, you have to write an entire page about it, so you'll be very stressed. So automatically all these the what you would say, the sad chemicals would be released. So according to your nervous system, according to the physical processes which happen in your brain, the hand is just a medium. So I would say that whatever you write, whatever are the thought process, it gets mapped on the paper. So whatever strokes, whatever sizes, all the minute details what are there of your handwriting, your size, the shape, the pressure of the writing, everything it's is mapped on the paper. So you could say is to put it in one sentence, it is your psychology which is being represented on the paper. So
Okay.
whenever you ask for a handwriting sample, you always stress the fact that you write something which is very close to you, in a positive way or in a negative way.
Mhm.
Why do we say that? Because it makes you think about certain things. It's the thoughts which are being represented on the paper. If you have to copy anything, if there is a newspaper and you have to copy the sample, it becomes a mechanical process because your brain is not involved in it.
Right. Right.
So it affects the accuracy of the analysis of the handwriting.
Wow.
So so
So
basically
it is about what you're writing as well as how you're writing. Okay.
exactly,
Because
exactly.
as of now, I was aware
Hmm.
about, okay, it is graphology is a
Hmm.
science where you can just write something and it will get to
Right.
know about how you are and how things are going right now
True,
in your life.
true,
Okay.
true, true.
But it is more about what you're writing about. It is also affect that.
It is more about, yeah, what you're writing, because it shows what you're writing might not be that important as compared to the way you're writing it.
The way.
Since the
Okay.
topic is closer to your heart, the moment the strokes and the formations of the letter changes. And that is what is really important. So it is not just about your behavior, but it is also the subconscious your mind, which is also active while writing. So to put it in one sentence is that it shows you the whys behind the action, the why are
Right.
you that way, the action what you take, why are you that way. It shows all
Mhm.
the your inner self, which you might not be aware of, is manifested on the paper. So it is basically the why of your actions in your of your entire life.
Okay, got it. Okay, so like अभी तक बहुत सारे clients होंगे, बहुत लोगों को suggestions दिया होगा कि you have to start writing like this, like that. Can you give me
True.
one example, one or two example, whatever comes to your mind, that
Mm-hmm.
someone came, he has given you a sample, he has suggested
Mm-hmm.
something, and you know uh, he has seen the effect, right? The result
Mm-hmm.
of that particular thing. So can you give me some
Oh
example?
yes. One thing which really comes to my mind is that during the COVID, I came across a female who was 23, 24 years old, and she was looking forward to get married, and she was meeting a couple of guys, and she happened to visit my website, and she called me up, and she said that would you be able to help me out in this regard? So since you're just doing
Okay.
career counseling and behavior counseling, I said yeah, sure, I'll give it a try. That was that time it was quite new for to me as well, in
Hmm.
2020.
Right.
So I told her how to all the directions कि sample कैसे लिखना है, क्या लिखना है, वो बंदे को बोल दो, and she got me a sample. And I told her certain things which were I would say the sample was filled with red flags for a
Okay.
girl. Yeah, so there were like many discrepancies in what the guy was telling about him and what things actually are. So then I happened to meet her father in the same regard, and she told her father that these are the things. So even he came down to my place, and we had a chat, and he was like the typical father जैसे होते हैं ना इंडिया के, अरे
Right.
नहीं नहीं ऐसे थोड़ी होता है, अभी बात बहुत आगे बढ़ गई है और ऐसे कैसे हो जाएगा, कार्ड्स भी छप गए and stuff like that. So it happened that way.
Hmm.
So I just told them, yeah, this is the thing, this is what he's saying, but this actually is, this person is a maniac. Your daughter won't ever be happy with him. There are, and it's
Oh.
not about certain things which are really bad. They were like, it was filled of red flags. There were just red flags and nothing else. And then फिर नहीं 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 अभी तो सगाई होनी ही है. So they went ahead with the engagement as well. So there was a time period of 1.5 months between the engagement and the marriage to take place. And in those 1.5 months, the boy made their life hell in all aspects, right from the menu of the marriage, of the venue, and every
Uh,
stupidest thing what
got
we
it.
would say. And he started argumenting like hell. And her father came back
Hmm.
again, and he was like, "Ki abhi kya kare?" I'm like, You are the lucky person, yaar. You got to know everything beforehand, before your child got married to
True.
that person. So it's everything. She just got, she was safely away from it. एकदम धीरे से. She had just a mental trauma of say 1 month or something, but not for the entire life. So I said that you are lucky that you got to know it beforehand. So they called off the engagement, and now the girl is उसका तो शादी से विश्वास उठ गया. So she said that I'm not going to marry again. And she
Hmm.
had her own business. She started her own business, and now she is well off with her life. So I feel this is
Okay.
the thing which really comes to my mind, and I cannot forget this.
Yeah, and that's amazing actually. And
Yeah,
if I'm not wrong, we can
yeah,
change by changing certain strokes, we can change
yeah.
the character as well, like what you're thinking or thought process of a
Absolutely. The process is called as graphotherapy, wherein we suggest
Okay.
certain changes to people. We try to make them change certain strokes and certain angles of the handwriting, but it's definitely a lot of commitment where you have to consistently practice it for 1 month or 2 months, depending upon the changes. And you have to religiously do it for every day for half an hour, for 45 minutes. But
Wow.
it does really help. Why? Because the strokes, you change your thought process and you change the stroke. So ultimately, it
Right.
is vice versa. So you're changing the strokes, changes your thought process, and you get rid of that negative thing in your life, and you walk towards the positivity of it.
Okay, so can you just
Yeah.
define graphology, graphotherapy in one
Hmm.
line? Like, what is the difference between graphology and
Hmm.
graphotherapy?
Graphology is, I would say, this is the first step where where we make you aware of yourself as a person, your strengths and weaknesses, certain things which you might not be aware of in your life is graphology. And let's say during the analysis, during that process, we come up with certain things which might not be beneficial for you in your later life, can be resolved through graphotherapy. So the first step
Got
would
it.
be when you go to the doctor, so that is आपको क्या बीमारी हुआ है, and graphotherapy is the drugs which would make you
Perfect.
feel better. So
Perfect. Got it. Got it. Okay. So are there any misconception, Anagha, that you came across about graphology, graphotherapy? What are those? Any misconceptions?
the biggest and the most popular misconception which I have been experiencing from the time I've started working as a graphologist is that whenever I try to introduce myself and people ask me what is that what you actually do, and when I try to explain them that this is the process of handwriting and all that, so they hear me out for a minute or two, and then they concluded by saying ki acha matlab bhavishwani karte ho na aap, it is just like astrology. And this is the biggest misconception. This is the most common response I ever get, irrespective of age of the people. And so I have to really correct them in a way that astrology is something what it predicts your life.
Predicts future. Yeah.
Graphology, yeah, it predicts the future. Graphology reveals your personality. So it is
Right.
nothing wherein I could say I could predict your future. Why I cannot do that? Why in graphology I cannot do that? Because your handwriting, what it is today, it might not be the same 5 years later.
Right.
Because your handwriting changes according to the experiences what you have in life. If you have become successful for 5 years, your handwriting would change accordingly. If you had really bad trauma, really bad experiences, your handwriting would change. And that is supposed to happen. Your handwriting is supposed to change over the period of time. That shows that you have learned from your experiences, good and bad both. So that is the reason the graphology cannot predict anything, but it definitely reveals your entire state of being.
That's great. Okay. So after
Yeah.
watching this particular episode, most of the people get
Mm-hmm.
interested in graphology. Okay. So for
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
someone who wants to pursue it as a career, what advice do you
Yeah.
want to give a person?
See, for pursuing graphology as a career, there are no prerequisites for any certification courses. Anyone can do that who's interested in it. But a person who has any kind of psychology background, who has taken any formal education in psychology as a subject, this subject, graphology, would help him in a better way to perform his job. Now, graphology, as far as the application of graphology is concerned, it could be applied in any field where there is human activity. Since it is dealing with human, you can use it in any field, irrespective of medical, lawyer, or any kind
Got
of
it.
profession.
Uh,
To narrow it down to particular fields is that you could use in recruitment, as in the recruitment consultancies or companies who outsource their recruitment. You can definitely
right.
use in that. You can use it in the corporate world, in the company, for the management selection, for promotion, for training and development. You can
Right.
use that. You can also use it in security checking as well, whether the person is he has integrity, he is honest or not, if that is the
Wow.
prerequisite of being getting recruited anywhere. It's widely being used as a career guidance tool, which I'm doing right now. So where I'm
Right.
working with these classes are there. You must have heard about these IIT and JEE NEET preparation ka coaching
Mm-hmm.
classes hote hain. So I've
It is
started
everywhere.
working with them as well. Yeah, it is everywhere.
Okay.
It is everywhere. I have four in my city as well. No,
Right.
I have been started working with them as well for career guidance. So that is
Wow.
also one of the most popular and important tool right now as far the children's future is concerned. As I said, it could be used for compatibility assessments for your
Right.
prospective bride
Right.
or
Right.
groom. So it could be used for that as well.
Got it.
Personality profiling. उसके बाद you go for child and family counseling,
Any
wherein
kind of
wherein
counseling.
certain cases, any kind of
Right.
counseling, wherein the parents, in certain cases, parents need more counseling than the kids. So
Yeah.
I feel
It
that the
happens.
entire family, you can do the counseling using graphology as a tool. Also for historic profiling, this is something which is finding feet in India nowadays. So
Mm-hmm.
like very historic big personalities, so you can, if at all you find their handwriting, you can do a personality profiling of them as well. So that is people who are interested into writing biographies are using this tool widely. in recent times. And for forensic analysis, for forgeries of
Yes.
signature and all that, so you
Right.
can be a
Right.
part of the criminal investigation, and you can be the good cop who's catching up the bad people. So I feel in that field is really booming nowadays in India, in forensic psychology. So if you pursue that as your that as a graduation or post graduation subject, and if you combine this with graphology, I feel
Certification.
you can make a second movie of Catch Me If You Can.
Wow. So graphology certification can help a people in many ways in different segment, different areas. It
Yeah.
add-ons, right? Your resume on your
Yes,
resume.
yes. You can definitely bring something else to the table, which would really give you an edge over other people. And it is, you
Perfect.
found very empowering when you this person just scribbles the writing for 4 5 lines, and you tend to understand all the secrets of it where he might not tell you that. So you feel very empowered to be a person in that place, to really understand and get an insight to the person for good things as well.
Right. And even I want this awareness, right? Everyone should
Mm-hmm.
be aware that yes, your writing can change your thought process. And this is the, I guess,
Yes.
the simplest way, because you can't
Mm-hmm.
change your thought process that easily. So this is
Yeah.
one of the way you can do so.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I want people to know about this, right?
True.
Be
True.
aware
True.
about this science.
Also, yeah, and also, the one advantage with graphology has over other psychometric tests, not saying that psychometric tests are lesser or anything as compared to this,
Right.
but the procedure is
Hmm.
very simple. All you have to do is to write one paper and you're done. So the work of graphology
Hmm.
starts. So there is no scope for manipulation. If the person, psychometric test mein kafi bar aise hota hai that the same person has taken the test over 3 to 4 times before getting
Right.
into the interview process, getting into any company. So
Hmm.
they know how to manipulate. If the question is that how do you take criticism, he's supposed to write it in a good way. He might not do
Right.
that,
Right.
but
Right.
he's supposed, that is what expected out of him. So you cannot
True.
manipulate it. And writing also, you cannot really lie on it, lie about it, because handwriting is the only tool which gives you the exact personality of the person, his subconscious and his conscious, both at both levels as well. So it's a
Okay.
very simple procedure, and it is very economical as compared to all the psychometric tests. So I feel that people
Right.
should really be
So
aware of it, considering.
e-
Yeah.
even someone wants to lie on that, the analyst will get to know about it, right?
Yeah, because he doesn't know what he's lying about. He might not
Right.
understand what stroke stands for what, unless he has taken the education for it.
True.
So even if he
Right.
wants to lie about it, he might not be able to.
Wow. Okay, so that is actually insightful. Huh? The whole
Yeah.
session, the whole interview was very insightful for me as well as for the audience. Uh,
Yeah.
just last question. I want you
Mm-hmm.
to just give
Mm-hmm.
me or the audience
Mm-hmm.
some tips, like journalize.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it is more personalized thing. Okay,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
want you to give some tips about signature, about handwriting, which people can, which can help people to grow in their life
Yeah.
somewhere or
Right.
improve
Right.
handwriting. Right.
Yeah, see, to put it in really quickly, if you want to say, there is a distinguishing characters between your writing and signature. So to put it really in a short way is that your writing is your private image. It is considered
Okay.
as your private image, and your
Mhm.
signature is considered as your public image.
Okay.
Why this is being said? So because you never sign for yourself, you always sign for other people, right? So that
Right.
is your public image. Why? Because the way you're signing it, you are telling people to perceive me in a certain way. In what way? The way you're signing your name. So that is called the public image, and your writing is your private image, which even you are not aware of certain aspects of your personality. So that is the private image. So if you want to make certain changes, so I would definitely start with the public image, because that is what people perceive, and that is what is about you impressing people, and you thinking
Right.
about lot what other people think for yourself. So as far as the signatures are concerned, there are certain do's and don'ts. So if you talk about the positive things, your signature should always have an upward slant. It should always be in an ascending direction. For
Right.
example, if you might Google out Shah Rukh Khan's signature, it is always upward. It is never
Okay.
vertical. It's always on that upward slant. It always has this way. It's made this way. Also, it
Got it.
should be really legible. It should be, the person should make out what your name is after seeing your signature. It should not
Okay.
be illegible. um, you should sign your complete name. as in your first name and last name. Some people just go with the first name, nothing wrong in that.
Okay.
But if you sign your last name as well, it shows that you are considerate about your family, and you want to make a mark considering your family, just not for yourself. That is what it shows when you accompany your last name as well. And an underscore always helps. If you underscore your signature, it shows
Ah,
your level of confidence, and it gives you, it kind of acts as a platform on your for your name. So it's always good to have an platform under you, to stand in any in public, you would say, since it is the
got it.
public image. There are certain don'ts, which you would say, that never strike through your signature, never strike through the name, never cancel your
Right.
name in any ways,
Mhm.
never encircle your signature, because
Right.
you're restricting yourself in certain boundaries by encircling the signature.
Okay.
Scribble signature is a big no-no. There is a very common misconception that if I just scribble the signature, if I make it illegible, it would be very difficult to imitate. But it is
Hmm.
exactly opposite of it. If you make a legible signature, it is the hardest thing to imitate. Why? Because they have to imitate each and every letter. Agar scribble
Right.
karte ho, so it is just, you can move the pen the way it wants, and the signature is done. So
True.
illegible signature is prone to forgery. Dot your t's and cross your i's. That shows your attention to details as well. And when you're underlining, never go backwards. It should always be upwards. It should always
Wow.
be ahead, never go backwards. So these are the certain don'ts which you really have to take care of it. Even if you make these many changes, I feel that you would have a better perspective of yourself.
Wow. It's just wow, actually.
Yeah,
Great tips. Even I am just thinking about my signature all the time. Whatever
everybody
you're saying.
everybody thinks that, everybody says, everybody
Uh,
starts to tend to think about
Right.
their
Just
signature.
cross-checking, right?
Yeah,
What
it
I
does
do and
happen.
all. Okay, thank you
Yeah,
so much,
yeah.
Anagha, for this session. I would like to, I don't want to, end this interview right now, but I have to
Yeah,
because we have some certain time limits. So thank you so
true.
much, Anagha, for being here in this particular interview in Boss Talk. And thank you for giving so much insights and knowledge about graphology, graphotherapy, handwriting, signature, everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Satyam. I had a really great time. Thank you so much.
All right, and thank you people for joining me for this session. And I hope you have got a lot of things, got to know many things about graphology and about your signature as well, some tips, and definitely use those tips to improve your thought process and improve your life. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Satyam signing out. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.
I hope you found this episode valuable and insightful. I would like to extend my gratitude to Anagha for being here, sharing the knowledge and experience with us. Thank you so much, Anagha. And if you people have any suggestion for us, please let us know in the comment box down below. Okay. Please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Brain Script and and follow us on all the social media handles. Thank you so much. Thank you once again for joining us for this episode. I would like to see every one of you for the next episode. Thank you so much.